Alright, hello everyone, this is Teamrocketdraws with another Pokemon drawing tutorial, and this time we're gonna draw Meloetta. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how she ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw her, let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen, that way you guys can look at all the details and basically know how she should look like. So first of all, we're just gonna do the straight line going down right here. You guys can make it any length, and then I use a spare piece of paper. You guys can use whatever ruler, but I measured the length of that line. I mark it off right here on the paper, and then I fold the paper up to that line just to get the middle, you know, half. Like I said, you guys can use a ruler or whatever, but for me it just makes it easier to use a spare piece of paper. And then I just use that to mark off the middle, and then on the paper, so you guys can see right here, we're just gonna do another line going across, the same length, you know. Basically it's like a plus sign. And just keep in mind that she's not gonna end up looking like the reference 100%, but we do end up pretty close. So we're gonna do a circle. So to get a circle, what I like to do is I like to mark the corners right here the same length as the other lines, but into the corners. But instead of doing the whole line, I just mark off like a point, and then I just connect them, and it just makes it a little bit easier to do a perfect circle, because it's just gonna make it easier to follow my tutorial, because we're basically gonna base almost everything off this circle. So the better that you make it, the easier it's gonna be to follow my video, you know. And this one was requested by Brooklyn Bright, if I remember right. I'm really sorry that it took me so long. It's just there was so many Pokemon, you know, and there's just so many, you know. So hopefully this tutorial helps you, and apologize once again. So right here we're just gonna measure once again the length of that circle, and we're gonna do a line going down the same length, you know. Mark it off right here, and then I just do that line. Just try to make it straight. And then we're gonna do half of another one, so just extend that one a little bit, like half the length of the circle. And this line is gonna help us do the body, so make sure to do it straight and the same length that I did it. So it's like another circle and a half. There we go. So we're gonna start off by doing the neck, which starts around here. And then on the other side, as you guys see, the neck is not that thin and it's not that thick. And now we're gonna start off right here at the bottom of her dress, and it's like a point a little bit, and it gets pretty close right there to the line, and then it just kind of curves right here at the bottom, like almost in the middle. And I'm sorry if I sound different. It's just this is the third time doing the voiceover, so basically I'm gonna be doing this for 1 hour like straight. It's just the audio wasn't I don't know, there was like a problem with the audio, so it wasn't recording right. So once I finished the drawing, that's when I know the voiceover, that's when I noticed it wasn't right. So my voice is starting to hurt a little bit. So hopefully this time it works. It looks like it's gonna work. So alright, so now for this side, I actually make this a little bit too straight. If you guys look at the reference, it's not that straight right here on the dress. It should be a little bit round, but I do change that a little bit later. And just keep in mind that this is a rough sketch. This is not the drawing. We're gonna start off by doing the sketch, and then once we have most of the sketch, we're gonna do the final drawing, you know. We're gonna finish it off. So right here I start off by doing the top of the band that she has, the band that she has right here on the forehead. But actually don't get it. It takes me a few tries to get it right, so don't copy it right here. But it basically starts a little bit higher than that middle line, as you guys can see right there. I changed it one more time. I just couldn't get it at the right angle, so it takes me a few tries. I get it on the third time. But we're gonna start by doing the eye. So the eye starts right there on the first square of the circle. It goes into the last one, and then it's just basically like this oval shape. There we go. That's the bottom of the eye. Like I said, it's basically like an oval shape. And then we're gonna start doing the hair, which starts around the neck, and then right here it curves and meets up right there with the top of the circle. The reason I did that part is just to help us do the eye, you know, get on the right spot. And then right here I do the top of the eye. I'm looking at the gap that it makes in between the eye, the top of the eye, and the band that she has on the forehead. Right here, as I point out, and it's roughly the same size of gap to the eye to the hair, as I pointed out right there. Ooh, I'm rhyming now. Alright, so now right here at the side of the eye has once again another line that's pretty much parallel to the other one. We do that just a little bit. And right here, this is where I make my mistake right here. The top of the eye, I made it too straight, like too flat. And if you guys look at the reference, it's really like, it's pretty much round. And I didn't do that, I made mine too straight. So that's where I make my mistake. So hopefully you guys make it better. And then right here we're just gonna do a highlight, which is basically like part of an oval shape right there in the corner. And now for the other eye, this is where I changed the top band. I'm sorry, just I'm having a hard time talking. Like I said, I've been doing this for 40 minutes already, so my voice is starting to hurt. Right there, I fix it, get it at a better angle. I make it a little bit higher. Alright, so now for this line, for this eye, we're gonna, as you guys see, it gets pretty close to the outline of the circle. It's pretty much parallel to the outline of the circle. And then this is the top, and once again it makes like an oval shape. And this one's really small compared to the other one, just because it's further away, you know. We're looking at the side of her face, so this one's not going to be that big, but it basically is, it's around there. And once again, try to round the top a little bit more than I did it. I'm not good with the eyes, so you know, I'm trying to point out my mistakes, so that way you guys could make it better, you know. That way you guys won't do the same mistakes that I do. That's why I put the reference up there at the same time, because if you guys can make it better, go for it, you know. And then right here I'm just gonna do once again the highlight on the eye. Or I don't think it's the highlight, I think it's the actual pupil of the eye. Let me just drink some water. It helps. Alright, the bottom of the eye is pretty much rounded off like an oval shape. And then right there I do a line at the bottom of the eye going across the circle, just to help us do the mouth. As you guys can see right here, the mouth, this line right here is pretty much straight, and then the top is a little bit round. It's almost the same size as I'm still calling it a highlight. I know it's the actual eye, but the highlight on the big eye, on the right one, it's almost like the same size. And then the emblem right here, the emblem's a little bit bigger than the mouth. I don't know if I point that right now, but you guys could, it's just small details that you guys could look at, you know, that you guys could compare. See this part, this is where I make it too straight. Maybe you guys look at the reference and compare it to my drawing, you guys will know what I mean. And I don't change that. I don't know. It's easier to notice any mistakes that I do when you have the reference like right next to my drawing. But I'm looking at the reference on my tablet, which is like a foot away, so it's pretty small. So some of those small details, it's hard for me to see, you know. So I might miss stuff like that, but I point it out in my video. That way you guys won't do the same thing. All right, so around here, this is where we're gonna do the hand, and I do a line going down the side of the circle, just to know where the elbow is. And now this line right here of the hand, right here, I just extend that line going across the paper, the middle, and that's just gonna help us know how high to do the hand. So now these two lines should be basically the same length, so from the body to the elbow should be the same length from the elbow to the hand, if that makes sense. And now we're just gonna do the bottom part and just make it parallel to the other one, and you guys could compare it to the neck. It's almost like half the thickness of the neck. Alright, so now for the hand or the paw, it's basically like an oval shape. It almost makes this like seed shape. But we're gonna use that reference line that we did at the top to know how high to make it. And the length of the hand is like a little bit smaller than half of the circle. I don't know if you guys want to measure that, but it's just a rough estimate that you guys could do. So now at the same level, a little bit lower than the other shoulder. We're gonna do this shoulder right here on this side, and actually change the stomach a little bit because it's not at the right angle. This is where I noticed. Because on the reference the shoulder's sticking out a little bit more, so I changed right here the stomach a little bit, you know, because she's pretty skinny. And then right here I do the other shoulder, and now the green part, it starts basically right there where the shoulder ends, and then this one right here starts off a little higher than where it bends right here, and just try to make it parallel to the other one on top. There we go. And I think I started doing the headset, or the hair I mean. And actually started off at the wrong spot. If you guys see, I'm starting it off on top of the emblem that she has on the forehead. But if you guys look at the reference, it actually starts a little bit more to the left. But like I said, the reference was too far away and too small for me to notice that. But I noticed that while watching the video. So you guys can change that, you know, try to fix that a little bit. And then right here, I know that the hair meets up right at the wrist of her hand, so I make sure that I align that just like the reference, just to get a little bit closer to the reference. And then right here, it makes like this triangle shape in between her neck, arm, and the hair. If you guys look at the reference, you guys will know what I mean. Alright, so now for the hair, it gets pretty close to the end right there, to the point of her dress. And right here where I was doing this part, instead of focusing on the shape of the hair, I was looking at the shape that it makes in the middle of her body and the hair, the white area. Hopefully you guys know what I mean. I was trying to get the same shape, so that's what instead of looking at the hair and the body, that's what I was looking at, and I try to get that same shape, you know, like the white part in between her body and the hair. Hopefully you guys know what I mean. And then we could just basically make it parallel to the other side of her hair. Although around here in the middle where it curves, it should be a little bit wider. But I don't do that, just to make it a little bit more simple for you guys. You guys can make it a little bit more wider, but like I said, this is still a rough sketch, so we could change anything later on. You know, if something doesn't add up, we could always change that later on. Alright, so now for the headset. The headset starts right there where the band on her forehead is, like where it starts. And then right here at the bottom, I started off too high. It should actually be a little bit lower than that. But it basically makes this like circle shape right here. It kind of looks like a moon. And then I do the ribbon on top of her hair. I don't know what that is. They look like rabbit ears. But once again, it makes kind of like a seed shape. Like, hopefully you guys know what I mean, like pumpkin seeds. And then I make mine like straight up, and on the reference is like a little bit more to the left. It's like, I don't know, so you guys might want to change that. So this one, as you guys can see, it's not connected to the other one. There's a small gap in between them. And then right here I noticed that it's gonna be a little bit too small. So I don't know, it didn't look right to me, so I make the left one a little bit bigger, just to make this one a little bit bigger. I could have left it like that, but it was just bothering me, so I just extended just a little bit. And then when I was doing the drawing, I thought that the right one was lower than the one on the left, like the first one, the big one. But now that I'm looking at it side by side, it's actually on the same level. But like I said before, I didn't like, I don't know, when I was looking at the reference, the right one seemed lower than the left one, but they're basically the same height. And now for the microphone, we're gonna do a line going across the paper right here, like right on the shoulder level, and it's just gonna help us do the microphone because it goes a little bit lower than that line, but we're just gonna make it up to that line. It's just gonna help us, you know. It's easier, you know. It makes it a little bit more accurate. Like I said, it goes a little bit lower than that line, but I don't do that just to make it easier on some of you guys. It's just it's small details that don't really matter if you guys don't pay attention to them. But the microphone right here makes like this oval shape, and it gets pretty close to the headset. As you guys can see, it's a small gap in between that. There we go. Now she's starting to look like Meloetta. Alright, so now for her other hand, right here, it's pretty close to her microphone, and it also gets pretty close to her shoulder. So I just do a small gap in between both of them, and then I just try to do the seed shape. And just try to make both hands the same length, the same size. Although the left one, it's a little bit smaller, but it's almost the same size right here. I measured the length of it just to make sure that they're roughly the same, you know, and they are the same length. But I make the left one a little bit more thinner. It makes it look a little bit smaller. But basically they're the same length, you know. And now we could just connect it to around here where at the bottom where the green part is on her body. And then just try to make the arm the same thickness as the point out right there to the other one. That way it won't look that weird, you know. Alright, so now for the legs. Actually, it takes me a couple tries again to do the legs. Right here I make them too low, so don't do that right now. I go back and I erase it because it doesn't look right. Because if you guys look at the reference, the legs barely go a little bit lower than the point of her dress, and the way I was doing it right here, the legs were gonna be way low, so that's why I changed it. I make it a little bit higher now. Alright, so now we're just gonna do the straight line, and this one that goes down now where it bends, the bottom one should be a little bit longer than the other one. I actually extend that a little bit more later on because it wasn't looking right. Once I have most of the legs, I extend that one a little bit more so it gets wider. It's almost like the same thickness as the neck. It should be a little bit more thicker than the neck, but once again, you guys can compare that. Alright, so now what I'm looking at right there on the legs, I'm looking at the once again the shape that it makes in between her legs. It makes like this triangle shape. It's like a perfect triangle, like every side is the same length. So that's what I try to do right here. Starting off on her knee, I do that triangle shape, and then I extend this line a little bit, and now we're just gonna do the left side of her leg right there, and then just curve it a little bit. This is where the knee is. And then right here at the top of the leg is pretty much a straight line going to her body. But at the end it kind of curves up a little bit. And right here the legs were looking a little bit weird, so like I said before, I extend the bottom one a little bit more. And there we go. I don't know, I think that just helped. Although it's not the same as the reference, but it just made mine look a little bit better. So if you guys can make any changes to make your drawing look better, go for it. It doesn't have to look like the reference, just remember that. And this is an example that I did right here, that I extended it a little bit lower than the reference, but it makes it look way better, you know. Maybe something that I could have done, I could extend the dress a little bit more, but I decided just to leave it like that. Alright, so now for this line on the hair, it starts off right there on the band that she has on her forehead. But it's like curved. This is her hair. And then it has another one going right here, right under the elbow. This one's almost like a straight line. And then it has another one around here, like right in the middle of her dress, from the green part to the bottom. And then once again, this one goes a little bit down. Now to make the strands going down her hair, just try to make it parallel to the outline of her hair. You just see it's basically parallel to the other outline. You know, the shape is, the thickness is consistent. Alright, so the one right here fixed right there. I don't know, it didn't look right. Like mine was too square, it wasn't round enough. Alright, so now right here we're gonna do another line parallel to the other one, and this one goes outside the circle that we did for the hair. If you guys can still see that line, I mean that circle. And then right here at the bottom it gets wider. Now for the last one, once again make it parallel to the previous one. And then right there in the middle where it curves, it kind of gets wider a little bit. I tried to do that, but it wasn't that much. Once again, the bottom gets a little bit wider. And now I erase right here the outline of the right there, just because it gets pretty close right there at the bottom to the other line. There we go, and we're pretty much done. It just, see, she wasn't that hard, as long as you guys did the circle for the head and that line and you measured it right. The rest, you know, it kind of fits into place, you know, but hopefully you guys found it helpful, you know. The only thing we need left is to finish off the bottom of her face, because if you guys notice, her face is white and it's pretty much round at the bottom. Right here I haven't done that yet. I haven't done the outline of her. Yeah, right here is where I do it. I just try to keep that round, you know, the shape round. There we go. And we're pretty much done. Now what you guys could do is just go over your drawing. If something doesn't look right, make sure to change it, you know. If you guys ain't happy with something, now's the best time to change it, now that you have your overall drawing. Like for example, something that I would have changed, now that I'm looking at my drawing, I would have fixed the top of the eyes. Like I said, if you guys look at mine, the top of the eye is pretty much flat, like a straight line, and on the reference the top is round, you know. So that's why I think that's what broke my drawing. Like it could have been a million times better if I would have done the top of the eye more round. And then right here I'm just doing those blue spots that she has on the hair, and if you guys are planning to color it, I recommend that you guys don't do it. The only reason I did it is just to show you guys basically where they go, and I actually leave them when I color. I'll show you guys that it looks really weird, so don't outline those. So yeah, so just go over your drawing. If something doesn't look right, go ahead and change it. Just look at the reference, that's why it's there. And then what I like to do is I like to erase my drawing to make the final drawing. A lot of people, what they do is that they ink the drawing here, you know, they do their final lines. But as you guys can see right here, I'm erasing the whole drawing. I can still see some of those lines because like I said, I pressed kind of hard just so the lines could be visible on the video. But even though if I would have done them light, I think they would have still been visible, you know. So I just erased the whole thing just to make the final drawing a little bit cleaner, you know. I don't like inking my drawings. I know a lot of people do, so if you guys want to do that, go ahead. And this is how she ends up looking like this is where I paid close attention to the reference. I try to make everything the same. Like I said, I fixed the top of the hair. I also fixed the eyes a little bit. They're not that flat, but still they're not perfect. I think if I would have done the eyes round at the top, it would have been way better, 10 times better. But as you guys see, this is how she ends up looking like it's pretty close to the reference. The only thing is the face, you know, I didn't do it right, so hopefully you guys make it better. And I did end up coloring it, as you guys see right here. I think it came out alright. Like, I didn't have the right colors once again like in my other drawings, but I used what I had. I like the hair is like a on her, on the reference, it's like this lime green, like this really light green, and mine's a little bit darker, like I don't know, it's more green. Like on her hair is like a green yellowish. But like I said, I didn't have the right colors. I have a set of 24, so I don't have exactly all the colors for all the Pokemon, but I used what I had. And then for the blue, I just used the baby blue, which is pretty much the same color as the reference. And then on her body, I used like grays. I didn't use black. I used these really dark grays for the shadows. For example, at the bottom of her dress, I used like the darkest gray that I had. And then for the other one, I just used the lighter gray, although it's still dark. But I just added the shadows. So just look at the reference, you know, it just gives it a little bit more detail, adding all the shadows. I also did the same thing on the hair. I just used a really light gray on the hair where it curves, and then I just went over it with the green. It's not that noticeable, but if you guys pay attention, you guys will see that. And then if you guys see the blue spots on the hair, I did the outline. Like I said before, I should have erased it, but for some reason I left them like that, and now they look really weird. But yeah, and then on the mouth, I regret doing the mouth like that. I used this like dark pink color. It was like a faded pink, and it looked like good on the marker, but then once I colored the mouth, it came out way too dark. So I tried to use light pink to go over that, and it just made it worse, you know. It made it way bigger than it was. But I don't know, the face killed the guys. I really don't like the face. Like I said, I should have fixed the eyes. I should have made them round. But if you guys have seen my other videos, you guys will know that I'm pretty bad at doing eyes, so it's nothing new, you know. So hopefully you guys found this tutorial helpful, guys. Once again, if you have any suggestions of any Pokemon that you guys want me to draw, make sure to leave a comment. But just keep in mind that if it might take me a while to do your request, just because I have a lot of requests, you know, so it might take a while. So yeah, if you guys drew her, and if you guys found the video helpful, make sure to leave a like. It really helps the channel out. It helps my channel grow. It spreads my video out there, so please leave a like, and subscribe for more videos. I have over 90 Pokemon drawing tutorials, so make sure to go check them out, from starters to mega. So I recommend you guys go check them out if this is the first video that you've seen. So I guess and remember, you guys could always send your Pokemon drawings. The links will be in the description, and I'll put them at the beginning of my videos, like the ones that you saw on this video. So make sure to send any of your Pokemon drawings if you want me to feature them at the beginning of my video. Like I said, the links are in the description. So I guess I'll just let you guys go, and make sure to once again leave a like, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.